Hello, this is Sarah Braasch. Welcome back to my channel. So I want to do a video about how the Me Too movement is a complete and utter farce. And in particular, I want to discuss how a number of elites in Hollywood and in the fake news press and on the political left have tried to mob me, a powerless, vulnerable, poor white woman with mental health disabilities, into suicide on Twitter, and multiple times. And in particular, I want to discuss how Rosanna Arquette, the Hollywood actress, the sister of Patricia Arquette, who participated in the disgusting Twitter mobbing against me that was incited by Josie Duffy Rice, president of the appeal, to drive me to suicide. She cracked jokes about how my life was worthless because I don't have a verified Twitter account. And was clearly relishing driving me to suicide, and was clearly relishing targeting me for my mental health disabilities. So Patricia Arquette, the Hollywood actress, participated in this Twitter mobbing against me that almost succeeded in driving me to suicide, that was incited by Josie Duffy Rice, president of the appeal. Then, to get revenge against me because I called out Patricia Arquette, Josie Duffy Rice, and also Rebecca Kavanaugh, a New York City attorney who has repeatedly incited Twitter mobs against me, has called for me to be disbarred, has called for me to be prosecuted for various crimes. So I called out Patricia Arquette for participating in this Twitter mobbing, which almost drove me, an entirely innocent and lifelong and well-documented human and civil rights activist, to suicide on Twitter. And I called out Patricia Arquette for having participated in this. And so Rosanna Arquette, her sister, decided that she was going to get revenge against me. And the way that she decided that she was going to get revenge against me, when the Living or Napping While Black hate crime hoax at Yale was also very obviously a campaign to publicly shame me for my mental health disabilities, was very obviously a hate crime hoax. So Patricia Arquette decided that she was going to get revenge against me for having called out her sister. Rosanna Arquette decided she was going to get revenge against me for having called out her sister, Patricia Arquette, for having participated in this Twitter mobbing recently, which almost drove me to suicide. So Rosanna Arquette decided that she was going to get revenge against me by retweeting the deranged rantings of my stalker for almost a year, someone who has been stalking me for almost a year, someone whom I have never interacted with whom I have literally never interacted. This person published on Medium, on the website Medium, their deranged rantings about me, their deranged love cum hate note to me, where they start off in the first paragraph by saying that, yes, I told Sarah that I loved her, but what I meant was, and then they go on to say, Sarah has never ever addressed me or replied to any of my emails, and this is why I have now decided that I hate her and she's a racist. So Rosanna Arquette decided that it was a good idea to post this on Twitter to her. I don't even know. She's blocked me, of course. I don't block people. I don't block people on Twitter. If I want to actually address how they have attacked me, then I don't block people on Twitter, because I think that that's really uncool to defame people behind a block on Twitter. But in particular, when you're someone who is a Hollywood star with, I don't know, however many hundreds of thousands of Twitter followers, you've got the blue check mark, you've got the verified status. I have basically no Twitter followers. I'm a private nobody. I'm the antithesis of a public figure. I was literally living like a hermit. I was literally living like Rapunzel at the top of a tower on Yale's campus when the living or napping while black hate crime hoax at Yale was perpetrated by Lolita Ciambola and Jean-Louis Renison. Okay? All I have ever wanted, and all that I still want, is to be left alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, assholes. Leave me alone. That's all I want. That is all I have ever wanted, was to be left alone and in peace, so that I could finish my Saving the World project, my PhD dissertation on the philosophical foundations of law and language. So Rosanna Arquette decided it was a good idea to retweet my stalker's deranged rantings about me, someone with whom I have never interacted, on Twitter, to her, I don't even know, 300,000 Twitter followers, 500,000 Twitter followers. I have no idea how many Twitter followers she has because she's blocking me. This puts my life in grave danger. I am in hiding. I have been in hiding for more than 2 years now. I've been deluged with death threats for more than 2 years. I have been deluged with threats of violence for more than 2 years. I have been intermittently suicidal for more than 2 years. I am a well-documented and lifelong human and civil rights and anti-racism activist. And Rosanna Arquette thought it was a good idea to retweet my stalker's deranged rantings about me, to try to drive me to suicide, to try to incite a Twitter mob against me, to drive me to suicide on social media. Okay? So this is how we know. These are allegedly, and in particular Patricia Arquette has made new, when she's won whatever Emmys or whatever awards that she's won, Oscars, whatever, she has repeatedly dedicated her acceptance speeches to the Me Too movement. So these are allegedly, ostensibly leaders of the Me Too movement. And they think that the best use of their time right now, in the wake of George Floyd's killing, the best use of their time right now is to try to drive an obvious and well-documented and lifelong anti-racism activist, a woman, to suicide on Twitter. They think that the best use of their time right now is to amplify the voices of women stalkers on Twitter. This is what the leaders of the Me Too movement think is the best use of their time right now. So this is how we know that the Me Too movement is a complete and utter farce. Know that. Please understand that. Please appreciate that. These people do not care about women's rights. They do not care about human rights. They do not care about civil rights. They do not care about racism. They do not care about police brutality. They do not care about our democratic institutions. They don't care. What they care about is moral outrage, industry, money, and gain and fame. That's what they care about. That's why they have spent the past 2 years destroying the Living While Black movement by turning it into a blood sport targeting vulnerable white women as collective punishment for Trump's election, and because it's an easier way to make money than actually addressing racism and police brutality. Please know that. Please know that. The Me Too movement is a farce and a sham. The Living While Black movement is a farce and a sham. Please know this. Please understand this. Please appreciate this. Okay, I have my GoFundMe and my PayPal me links below. Please support me. Please donate to my legal fund so that I can sue Yale, and I can sue Rosanna Arquette, and I can sue Patricia Arquette, and I can sue The Appeal, and I can sue Rebecca Kavanaugh, and I can sue Josie Duffy Rice, and I can sue the New York Times, and I can sue the entire moral outrage industry, and I can sue Yale for their gross violations of my federal civil rights. We can do this. We can restore civil liberties and due process and free speech at Yale and on campuses across the US and everywhere. We have to stand up together as one against this moment of cultural insanity to protect our democracy and our democratic institutions and our civil liberties. Okay, please donate to my legal fund. I love you all so much. Have a